Hey, good morning to my beautiful people, to my beautiful woman, beautiful man, man of God, woman of God, Today is October 23rd, We're on number 10, day 10 of this daily Bible reading, and Genesis 10 for today, We're going to start off with the King James Version, first of all, so let's get into it. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday, though. But let's start off with Genesis 10. The generations of Noah. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth: Gomer and Magog, and Madai and Javan, and Tubal and Meschib, and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer: Ashkenaz and Ripha and Torgamoth. And the sons of Javan: Elisha and Tarshish, Kittim and Dodanan. By these were the Isles of the Gentiles, divided in their lands, everyone after his tongue, after their families and their nations. The sons of Ham, and the sons of Ham: Cush and Mishram, and Phut and Canaan. And the sons of Cush: Sheba and Havilah, and Zabta and Ramah, and Zabtecha. And the sons of Ramah: Sheba and Dedan. And Cush begot Nimrod. He begot to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdoms was Babel and Erich, and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar. Out of the land went forth Ashur, and builded Nineveh, and the city of Rehoboth and Calah, and Rezin between Nevat and the city of Rehoboth and Calah, and Rezin between Nineveh and Calah, the same as a great city. And Mishram begot Ludum and Anamin and Lehabin and Naphtuhim and Parushut and Kalashut, out of whom came Philistine and Caphtorim. And Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite and the Amorite and the Girgasite and the Hivite and the Archite and the Sinite and the Arvadite and the Zemarite and the Hamathite. And afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as thou comest to Gerar unto Gaza, as thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah, and Adamah and Zeboim, even unto Lashem. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, and after their tongues, and their countries, and in their nations. The sons of Shem. Unto Shem also the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth the elder. Even to him were children born. The children of Shem: Elam and Ashur, and Arphaxad and Lud and Aram. And the children of Aram: Uz and Hul, and Gether and Mash. And Arphaxad begot Zala, and Zala begot Eber. And unto Eber was born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided. And his brother's name was Joktan. And Joktan begot Almodad and Shelephet, and Hazar Madad and Jarad, and Hadoram and Uzal, and Dikla and Obal, and Abimal and Sheba, and Ophir and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan, and their dwelling was from Mesha, as thou goest into Shafar, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, and their lands, after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, and their nations. And by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. Yeah, so as we tell for today, Genesis 10 is just talking about the generations of Noah, so it's just a lot of information, a lot of history, of who, or the children, the sons being born after the fathers, and yeah, it's a lot like of information, so it's a bit overwhelming because it's a lot to remember, but well, it's good to have a rough idea or like get like a brief introduction of the children's name, because they're all these names are gonna be important throughout the Bible, and it's good to know, it's just like our history, our lineage, where we come from, it's good to know that, same thing with the Bible, so just read the LNT. Pardon. I'm just getting a quick drink of water real quick. All right. All right. So Genesis 10 in the NLT version. Yeah, I gotta pull it up now. Genesis 10 NLT. This is the account of the families of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the three sons of Noah. Many children were born to them after the great flood. Descendants of Japheth. The descendants of Japheth were Gomer, Magad, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The descendants of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmarth. The descendants of Javan was Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Rodan. Their descendants became the seafaring peoples that spread out to various lands, each identified by its own language, clan, and national identity. That's good to know, good important, to know that these descendants, pretty much made their own language, their own clan, and they had their own national identity, And then as we get into the descendants of Ham, the descendants of Ham were Cush, Mishram, Put, and Canaan. The descendants of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Zabta, Rama, and Sabtika. The descendants of Rama were Sheba and Dedan. Cush was the ancestor of Nimrod, who was the first heroic warrior on earth. Well, that's pretty good to know, that Cush was the ancestor of Nimrod, who was the first heroic warrior on earth, that's good to know, good to know that there was warriors throughout the thing, and just important to know, and just to see, like where it comes from, where some stories may be coming from, Since he was the greatest hunter in the world, his name was Proverbial. People will say, this man is like Nimrod, the greatest hunter in the world. He built his kingdom in the land of Babylonia with the cities of Babylon, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh. From there he expanded his territory to Assyria, building the cities of Nineveh, Rehoboth, Ir, Calah, and Rezin, the great city located between Nineveh and Calah. Wow, that's pretty good. That's good to know that, Cush was really like a warrior, that he was so well known, that he was able to build his own kingdom, and expand throughout, and keep it going, and just be there throughout, and just see the beauty and the importance of where we come from, and just to know the history, yeah, it may be a bit overwhelming, but it's pretty interesting, just to know all this history, and to know where a lot of things come from, which is pretty beautiful in my opinion. And then in verse 13 it says, Mizraim was the ancestor of the Ludites, Anamites, Lehabites, Naphtuhites, Parushites, Kalushites, and the Caphtorites, from whom the Philistines came. Canaan's oldest son was Sidon, the ancestor of the Sidonians. Canaan was also the ancestor of the Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Arkites, Sinites, Arvadites, Semarites, and Hamathites. The Canaanite clans eventually spread out, and the territory of Canaan extended from Sidon in the north to Gerar and Gaza in the south, and east as far as Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, Zobon near Nasha. These were the descendants of Ham, identified by clan, language, territory, and national identity. Well, that's kind of good to know, just to see that, the descendants of Ham, they were eventually had their own clan as well, their own language, and they had territory throughout, and they were eventually had their own national identity, which is wow, this, how beautiful and great is that, And then we get into descendants of Shem. Sons were also born to Shem. The older brother of Japheth, Shem, was the ancestor of all descendants of Eber. The descendants of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. The descendants of Aram were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Arphaxad was the father of Shelah, and Shelah was the father of Eber. Eber had two sons, the first one named Peleg, which means division. For during his time, the people of the world were divided into different languages. His brother was Jocham. Oh, so that's pretty good, good to know, that Eber had two sons, Peleg, which means division, because I guess during his time, during his lifetime, people of the world was divided into different language groups because of the language he spoke, so throughout his lifehood, it was just, he, I guess, divided people, which is, I guess, to me, I kind of take it as a good thing, because it's like, that's how today we're able to have so many different languages, are diverse, all these languages, there's like a lot, like hundreds of languages throughout, and that's kind of, I guess, where it originated from, from Eber, from Peleg, I mean, well, from Eber, because his son Peleg was someone that kind of helped divide and help expand all the different language groups throughout the world. And then Joktan was the ancestor of Amadad, Shelef, Hazarmarath, Jerah, Haduran, Uzzah, Dikla, Obal, Abimelech, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobal. All these descendants were of Joktan. The territory they occupied extended from Mesha all the way to Shepherd and the East Mountains. Wow. So, these were the descendants of Shem, identified by clan, language, territory, and national identity. Wow. And then, I guess in this conclusion, these are the clans that descended from Noah's sons, arranged by nation according to the lines of descendant. All the nations of the earth descended from these clans after the great flood. Wow, that's not good to know that all this comes from, like the descendants of Japheth, descendants of Ham, and then it's like, just to know, like, of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, which were the sons of Noah, 3 sons of Noah, and then how they all expanded throughout the world, and, lead to these diverse world of how we are today, how we are expanding everywhere, it's just a good beauty, and it's just kind of beautiful, to know all this, where a lot of this comes from, but that's pretty much it for today, obviously there's not that much to really go over, like to talk about, it's just more about the history, which is important, and it's just, it may be a lot overwhelming, so, just, it's okay, but it's still good to know, it's just a history, just like our own history, we gotta learn our history, we gotta see where we come from, because we'll learn a lot more, and it's good to know, and have like a good overview of these people and who they come from, and then later on, there'll be the verses, they'll help explain more, which I think is really great and beautiful, but that's pretty much about it for today, so I hope you guys have a great day, blissful day, enjoy your Wednesday, take care of yourself, love one another, love yourselves, remember that God loves you, I love you, we're meant to love one another, just take care of each other, Today's reading is a bit short because it's just a lot of information, so, there's not that much really to speak because it's just so breaking down, like giving an overview of all this history of where we come from and the sons of Noah, which is beautiful, Yeah. So thank you guys. Have a blissful Wednesday. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 11. Goodbye.